And we are live.
Welcome to
You're muted, Tony. There you go.
another show. How am I muted? I'm not muted, man.
You're not now.
I'm
No,
not
nope, you're not
muted.
now.
How can I be muted? Guys, yeah. Okay. We are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. I got another one. The Darling Cloud Show. We're back today again, Tuesday. See ya, guys. I know I've not been around, yeah. I know I've not been doing quite, lots of shows, but I'll be back. I'll be back. And
He's back.
I'm back now.
Back
Of
again.
course, with my main guy, yeah, Argungun. See,
What's up, Tony?
back again. We're back again on the channel. See you guys, yeah. We speak facts down here, yeah.
Of
We look
course.
at things, we speak facts. We don't have an agenda here.
No.
We say as it is, be it positive, be it negative, anything you want to call it, no problem. I'm all up for it. You know,
Yeah.
provided we're dishing out the right facts. See ya, guys. Welcome, my guy. My pastor. Talk to these people. How you doing, my brother, man? He get the
Right.
po. Oregon Gunner. Talk to these people, man.
Thanks for having me on again, Tony, for another great show. I love the questions, the discussion, the debate, the fiery zestiness of our Arsenal conversations. So, yeah, big up to the chat. I see always and assembled in here so far. I'm sure we'll have some more names dropping in as usual. So, yeah, lots to talk about, man. Lots going on in football. I think we have a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, yeah, but definitely Oregon, man. Definitely. Oregon Gunner, man. See, yeah,
Yeah,
let's just jump straight right into it. Yeah, let's cut the
sure.
chase. You saw what happened against Southampton, a boogie team of Arsenal. Did you like what you saw that day? Because I knew when we went one goal down, you were
Um,
fuming. You wanted to even do the show that same day, but I just said, we should just calm down a little bit. I I mean, like, just take us through what you felt, man, when that goal got in, and just
well,
try and talk about the whole
yeah,
game, and let's see where we
I
can pick
was
up the discussion from there.
again, I was up at 6:30 in the morning to watch a 7 a.m. game. So, yeah, I was upset at the lineup. Thomas Partey at right back. Really, Arteta. I mean, that's the first thing that stood out to me was the lineup. Obviously, Arteta at right back, Kai Havertz as central mid, and Jesus as striker, and a 4-2-3-1, right, which is the formation I've been asking for, which he has been playing off, on occasion. I know we've been doing 4-4-2 as well. So I like to see the mix up in formations. But to your point, why was Thomas Partey at right back? Tomiyasu, from what I recalled, was on the bench and probably could have played that game. We probably could have, you know, who was out? Ben White was out and Timber was out, right? Like we couldn't put Calafiori on the right and Zinchenko on the left. I don't recall the injury list, Tony, but I know from the get go I was already irritated. First thing in the morning, already irritated seeing our man Thomas Partey at right back, right, and then seeing Kai Havertz, and then as the first half, what do you
Yeah.
know? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. It was a dead game in the middle of the first half. We couldn't place a pass. You know, our attack looked out of it. There was, some just nagging little knocks here and there. There was some decent shots. I know we had quite a few shots, of course, but we weren't really commanding the game.
I mean, but we had the
You
whole
know?
possession.
Right,
Again,
but
we
we
had
did
superior
nothing with
possession.
it,
We're
bro.
keeping the ball. Like, I mean, it wasn't really like as if we played badly. Yeah, it was more about finishing your
No,
chances or finishing your dinner,
right. It was one of those
innit?
games where it was like today's not going to
Because
be
we
our
had
day, right?
superior ball possession.
I felt like it was one of those
Of
games
course,
where
I
it
knew
just
we
wasn't
didn't
going to
do
go
anything
away.
with it. We were just trying to keep it close.
Right. I think you got some delay here, Tony. Oh, there you go. Hello.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, man.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think there's a little delay. Yeah, I know. It
Okay,
was one of those
back.
games where it's like, yeah, you could have all the possession and dribble around and make some nice passes and take some shots outside the box and maybe get, a few that were close in. But it felt to me like one of those games that, maybe this is the day we just draw, right? But then, of course, they score. Arteta makes their adjustments, and we go on to pound them 3-1. I predicted a 3-0 win. So 3-1 is, at the end of the day, it was okay. But it still felt like, why did we go through the drama of doing what he did at the beginning and then rush everything towards the end? Like, it felt like a rush. Like, all of a sudden there was a sense of urgency. However, Kai Havertz did score pretty close to their first goal. I think it was in 3 or 4 minutes, right? I know maybe 5 minutes at the most. And that Kai Havertz goal I want to talk about too, Tony. That's the goal we were just talking about last week that we needed him to score. It wasn't a tap in. It wasn't off his shoulder. It wasn't off a heel, right? His kneecap. He absolutely took the ball from the defender and smashed it in the back of the net. It was a true striker's goal that he scored against Southampton. That's the kind of goals we need to be seeing, right? And then after that, it was a beautiful soccer cross. Martinelli, goal again, so he's 2 for 2, or maybe 3 for 3. I forget. But I think he's got 3 goals, 2 assists in 3 games. So Martinelli's actually getting in form again, like we thought he might, but I know we weren't sure last time we talked. And what can you say? It was also who scored the third goal? Was it Trossard? I forget. Who scored the third goal? Somebody remind me. Uh-oh. And we are live. Okay. I guess Tony's having internet problems. Is there anybody in the chat? I guess I can answer questions. Nope. Boy, this is embarrassing. Tony is having internet issues today. Well, maybe I'll stop too. Doesn't look like anyone's really in the chat. I know there's a ton of people streaming. So maybe I'll reconnect with Tony. Yeah.
Oregon is down here with us. I don't know, but I think. Okay, I think Oregon is back with
Back
us.
again.
Let me
All right. Tony got his internet
StreamYard
fixed.
has been acting up quite a bit.
Saka did score the third goal. Thank you always. Hey, Malia, how you doing?
Hey, Dal, you there?
I'm here. Are you there? Tune in Tokyo.
Hello, Dal. Dal, are you there?
Hey, I'm here, buddy. Are you here?
Hello, Dal. Are you there? Okay,
yeah,
man.
I'm here.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know what's happening
okay.
to my connection
down
here, bro.
Hey,
I just subscribed to a very strong internet connection. I don't know why. What's going on, man. But let's keep going on, man. So see, yeah,
Yeah,
of course. Let's start with that Kai Havertz strike, man. I mean, or in fact, let's start from when we went down to that one goal. See, what caused that goal to you? Was it lapses in our defense? Like what really
yeah,
caused that
laps
goal?
our defense, everything. I think we just got caught off. Caught off the front foot. I don't
It
think.
stopped.
What's that? Uh-oh. Tony needs to call his internet people. Well, this is fun. Tony. Hi, Malia. I'm glad someone's laughing. Trying to think of Saka's third goal. Right, it was Saka. I'll have to go back and watch the highlights again. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well today. What do you guys have for? Oh, there he goes. Well, I'm not going to do this show by myself because I am completely embarrassed. So anyway, hope everyone's doing good. Maybe we'll come right back. Maybe we won't. I don't know. What did I think of the game? I don't even know how to. I thought it was okay. I mean, again, the first half. No. Like, where was the urgency? Right, there was no urgency. I felt like in the first half. Yeah, we had a lot of shots, and yeah, dead air is not a good look. We had lots of shots, Malia. But just I can't figure out why we just can't finish sometimes. And I don't know if it's because maybe we were missing Odegaard for that final ball to cut through the defensive line. I don't know what it was in the first half, but whatever he said in the second half, and of course the goal that they scored really kind of woke us up. And finally started seeing urgency with the subs. Yeah, exactly. They parked the bus, and that was to be expected. Um, I don't know. It's again right. They parked the bus, and then we look like we have a bunch of possession, right? So I don't know. I just didn't get the lineup from the get go. Like I was telling Tony earlier, I didn't understand why you have Thomas Partey at right back for any reason at all when you're just going to invert him anyway. But you can't really do that in a 4-2-3-1 because that leaves you kind of a very, very odd formation, right, at the back. So with that being said, I thought it was, an important 3 points, but I expect more. I thought Kai Havertz's goal was fantastic. I thought that was finally a real striker's goal. It wasn't one he just kind of tapped in, off the back of his head or off his kneecap or, his heel or something. But you think Partey should be playing over as the right back? I don't know. I think it should be Timber, Ben White, Tomiyasu, or even Calafiori. I don't know. I don't see what the is with. He's back. Thomas Partey to me should be the number 6. Oh, should not. There you go. Yeah, it's ridiculous. No need to apologize. I get what you're
Bro,
saying.
I don't know what's happening with my connection. I don't know what's happening with my connection,
It
man.
seems
I
good
think
now.
this Man City fans must have done some juju so that I don't come back on air. But Man City fans,
Oh, is he gone
yeah,
again? Oh no, he's back.
Man
Okay.
United fans, just
I did see the Deji meltdown. It was fantastic.
stay clear, yeah. Yeah, man, you were saying something, bro. You were saying something.
Yeah, well, I'm just talking with Malia right now, and she asked if we'd seen the Deji meltdown, and yes, it was absolutely brilliant. The three, it was so great to see Danny Welbeck score that goal. Deji, I think, yeah, he literally says
I saw
he's
it too.
talking right, and he just goes, Postecoglou, it's not his
Uh,
fault, and then he stops. He goes, wait though, I hate Postecoglou.
Oregon Guinea, man.
He's so confused. What's that? I didn't hear any of that. Call your IT guy, Tony. What's up, Don C? Tony's having some severe internet problems today. So I'm trying to send a link to somebody, Tony, so I don't look like a complete donkey up here by myself. Give Deji his props. He hasn't ducked Asia. That's true. I thought he went hiding. I thought he went hiding.
I'll send it to Don C if Don C wants to pop in. I can get my internet popping again.
I do give Deji his props. He's going to die on that Tottenham sword, and hey, whatever you want to do. But I think the 3-2 the other day was a real big eye opener for him to see like how can you be 2 up? Why would you keep opening your attack up at 2-0 when you're not at home? Like if they were at the toilet bowl, yeah, attack for sure. But at Brighton, no way. I don't think Arteta, if we would go 2-0 up at this point in time against Brighton away, I don't think we would just still play more open football. I think we would just close up shop 4-4-2 and get back on the bus. And unfortunately, that's not what Ange wanted to do. So you play Timo Werner, this is what happens. And expecting anything different is insanity. Chelsea fans.
Please do tell Don C to join in.
Hey, Don C, if you want to join, Tony should be shooting you a link. So you and I may talk through the show if you're still available in the chat. The Finnish internet is not working today well, huh, Tony? I think you heard me. No, I definitely give Deji his props again. He joined with the show with was it Terry Fleurs and them, and he took a lot of abuse in that. Tottenham are at a real crossroads right now. They don't have an identity. I mean, their only identity is being Spursy, right? They don't have a real identity. Not that their fans think they do. Their fans, some of them just think obviously that they're just everything, which I still don't get the disease with that. Like if you want to be a Tottenham fan, you might as well ditch that shirt and support Fulham now, because Fulham to me look much better than Tottenham do. Open football doesn't mean you're good. Just because you can play some fancy passes doesn't mean you can, storm teams off the pitch that are decent. It's one thing to beat Luton Town, it's one thing to beat Wolves or, you know what I mean, Everton, etc. But it's another thing to go to Brighton and expect to get 3 points. I mean, I don't even have that real confidence right now to be honest, even though we are playing very well. Yeah. They're their own worst enemy. And Harry Kane, again, great striker, but he killed 9 years of his career there. He should have left much earlier. If he would have left Bayern Munich just 2 or 3 seasons earlier, or whatever, or what could say Chelsea, he probably would have won something, at least an FA Cup, right? Spurs players have nothing to blame but themselves if they keep signing contract extensions, keep buying into this project. I mean, son, once you're linked to Real Madrid, which he was, I believe, 3 or 4 years ago, I would have taken that plane trip immediately. Made my agent do everything they could. So, any questions? Unfortunately, can't today. Just passing through. Get it, Don C. Big up. Legend. I'm going to try to keep talking until Tony jumps on. Hopefully that's soon. If you guys have any questions at all, it doesn't have anything to do with other teams, other leagues. Who we got coming up? Bournemouth. Looks like Bournemouth coming up. So I'm not too concerned about Bournemouth, especially if it's at home. I think we'll probably do them 3 or 4-0. I just can't see right now, like, for any reason, for Arteta to take the foot off the gas pedal and keep trying to get these wins. That said, he needs to be playing the right formations. Without the right formations and the right players doing the right things, there's not much else they can do. But what did you guys think of Martinelli's record? I think, 3 goals, 3 games, and 2 assists? Pretty incredible for someone who was basically 0 goals, 0 assists after 18 or 19 games. I think it's just a knock assembled. I think he'll be all right. I'm not. What was it again? Was it a calf injury? If it has anything to do with like growing or back, then I'm more concerned. But if it's like just kind of a calf or an ankle, please put in the chat what what you've read is the exact injury. But that's interesting to bring that up without Havertz. I mean, if we got Bournemouth next, are we really going to miss Havertz against Bournemouth? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, you could see we missed him at Southampton too, till he actually played the right position because he was nowhere to be found as an attacking mid. And Tony's back. He called up the Finnish IT guy.
See ya, guys. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a couple of minutes here.
I actually even sent the link to Don C, but apparently Don C, is just passing by today. But big up
Yeah,
to
he says
Don
he's
C.
got
I'll be
family
having
stuff
him on
going
the
on.
channel quite soon. I'm expecting him this week. But anyway, I'll get to talk to him later on. I mean, see, Oregon Gunner, man. Let's talk
Yeah,
about Kai Havertz just a little bit. I mean, just a little bit.
sure.
Me, Flawless, and your guy TJ, our guy TJ. Because
Right,
he's one of your best friends in this space,
for sure.
yeah. And of course, I work with him, so he's also a great guy to me. We're having this back
Absolutely.
and forth about Kai Havertz, yeah. But I mean, look at the numbers he's dishing out.
Yeah,
See,
yep,
by no means am I saying he's the best striker for Arsenal. That's far
right,
from it. It's not the topic. But all I'm just saying is he's banging in goals. And I mean,
right.
if he continues in this way, yeah, 7 consecutive goals in the Emirates. I mean, if he continues like this, see, the only time that happened, yeah, was in 2011 season. And that was with Robin van Persie.
Percy,
He
right.
just equaled Robin van Persie's record, scoring 7 consecutive goals at the Emirates. I mean, isn't it time to start, looking at this guy, a bit different? And
Maybe.
I mean, after that assist from Bukayo
Hmm.
drifted the ball away from the defender. I mean, that's a striker's instinct. Like
Yeah,
that's
I
the
agree.
hallmark of a dangerous striker. I mean, he's scoring the goals in bits, yeah, but that
Hmm.
was a good goal. Oh, Gunguna, what do you think about Kai Havertz and his renaissance, at this time?
Well, I think that he's obviously rejuvenated himself from Chelsea. He's played half the games and scored twice as three times as many goals. I think I saw a graphic on Instagram somewhere saying he's like doubled his tally at Chelsea, right? Like half the games. I mean, that just goes to show you play players in the right position, they will produce. I mean, again, young kid, German international, 17, 18 years old. These are the
Mm,
expectations that managers have. I think even Chelsea had, which he wasn't able to perform at, obviously with the Champions League. Um, but that's the goal I've been wanting, Tony. I again, like we were saying earlier before our internet issues, is that
mm,
that's the kind of goal that's a striker's goal. You take the ball a bit inside, outside of the foot, and smash it in top bins, out, just inside the box. Instead, we've seen so many of his headers. He scored some great headers too, but he scored some great tap ins. I really wanted to see him smash a goal, right? And I think yes,
mm,
against Southampton, he did that Saturday. So I think I want to see more open play goals like that. And of course, the cross from
mm.
Sacco to Martinelli at far post was a great goal. And right, Saka was the last score. I kind of forgot that goal though, to be honest. like who was the assist? I forgot how it kind of even what the buildup was. Maybe I was too busy cheering and didn't watch the replay. But
I mean, at this time, Bukayo Saka can't even be assisting himself. Is the assist king?
Right. Yeah. I mean, we beat their ass. We had 30-some shots.
I even felt he assisted himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, Bukayo Saka is looking good. Bukayo Saka, see, before we even delve into Bukayo Saka,
Sure.
Now, when Martin Odegaard was here, we were struggling to score goals. We're scoring in droplets here. That 1 goal, 2 goals. We have to rely on our defenders, our centre backs, to come in and score goals for us through set pieces. Mostly Gabriel coming in from the defense and with his aerial threat in set pieces. But again, since Martin Odegaard, through injury, left this team, I mean, our strikers are back to life.
Yeah.
Do you think there's something with Odegaard that has kind of like kept these guys quiet? I mean, Martinelli started scoring goals.
Right.
I mean, see, I will take the walk of shame. Martinelli has scored some cool goals already, and
right. Don't take the walk of shame. Don't take the walk of shame, Tony.
Martin Odegaard. I
understand what you're saying, bro. I understand what you're saying.
Saka, don't Martinelli, Kai-Havertz score goals.
Right. But don't take the shame on Martinelli, bro. He was 0-0 for 17 games, man. There's nothing you had to do about that, right? But I like I said, but I still was one of his advocates. Even people 2 months ago were saying sell him, right? Come on. Like, I understand not starting him, but selling the kid, not that he would go somewhere and just go score 35 goals somewhere. I don't think he has that innate ability, right? But it still would be a strong bench to have him on there. He still would be a good, 75-minute sub. And so, Arteta, I guess someone agrees with that because he's still been starting him. He's still been getting him lots of minutes. And, he's 3 goals, 3 games, and 2 assists. So, I mean, but you maybe have a point, though, with Odegaard. And this is what we talked about.
But again, what happened to his form? What happened to his form? Like, he's scoring goals now. Is it that Martin Odegaard isn't just there now? He's now kind of showing into the party. He now has the freedom to but he has always had the freedom to move around.
Right.
His first touch was usually, I don't know. It's just this past 2 weeks that he just started showing up to the party. I don't just really know what was really the problem with him. Very drab. He couldn't put his head up. He couldn't square the ball for oncoming players. He couldn't even score goals. His first touch was useless. I'm prepared to take that walk of shame if he keeps scoring goals. I don't care. I'm shameless. If he starts scoring goals, I don't care. I would jump on the bandwagon and start praising him back. It's all good. Provided you win me the Premiership, it's okay. Just start improving, showing up to the party.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I don't want to get too conspiratorial, right? I don't want to go that conspiracy road too much with the Odegaard being out, and all of a sudden Martinelli's form has gotten on. But I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You got to look at the numbers, right? There's times, and we had this debate on your show, and I've had it with TJ on the American Idiots and Jez, and even I think brought up with Northside once in a while over the last couple of months. Is Odegaard that big of a miss, right? I mean, that becomes the real question. And we talked about this, Tony, a couple of weeks ago, right? That
exactly. That's a real question.
After the Man City game, I think it was after the Man City game. Like, what are we really missing? Well, I mean, we're missing a player that can cut through any defense. We know that. He's trickery of the ball, has a great pass, he has a great left-footed shot. But at the end of the day, if he's not doing those 4 or 5 things, he is absolutely not doing anything, right? And Trossard has gotten almost kind of used to playing in a 4-4-2, and you can almost, Trossard's also like 5 years older than he is. Trossard has 5 more years of professional football experience than Odegaard does. I mean, I don't have a problem with Trossard at the 10. And it's the first time we tried it, I think about 2 weeks ago, it was a little suspect. I forget the team it was, but it was like, oh shit, this isn't working. Maybe it was at Atlanta, and it's like, oh, he didn't have the best game. But the following week, I think he scored a goal or assisted a goal at the number 10 role, and then went on to score again.
I mean, even Bukayo Saka is even being played in that number 10 area.
Right.
He's roaming around the area also. He's roaming around
possibly,
that number 10 area also. He's trying shots from that same number 10 position.
Right. So maybe it's the distribution, right? It's a distribution issue we've been having because Odegaard does like to hold the ball, right? He likes to backpedal with it. He likes to side foot it, do his little trinks and dinks and pass the ball sideways a lot, right? We know he likes to pass the ball sideways. He passes it to Saka. He runs right behind his pass to receive it back, right? And then he'll go to the middle. But he rarely goes to Martinelli's side. And that's been proven, I think last season, it was proven because they had statistics of percentages of how much possession Arsenal had on the left side. And it was drastically different than the possession on the right side where Odegaard obviously operates in that right midfield side. So,
Again, that's bound to happen because, of course, most of our goals is coming from Bukayo Saka's area, right? And he was our highest goal scorer, so he is the go-to guy on that right-hand side. So,
but that's the issue we have. That becomes too predictable, bro. Right, but then we also talked the other side of the coin, bro. Remember, we said that was too predictable at times last season. Odegaard's going to the right. He's going to the right. Shout out Waffle TV.
Shout out Waffle TV. Nothing waffle about that channel. That's my brother, yeah. That's my brother. Big up to Band. Big up to you, man. Love the brother to the core, man.
Let's get Abs on.
I'll be doing some shows on this channel quite soon too. So
let's bring him on.
Watch out for that.
Bring him on next time, Tony. Let's bring on Abs next time to join us.
Yeah. Sure. Me and him are having something in the pipeline. We'll be coming back.
We'll do something next week, Abs.
Bouncing back quite soon. And he's doing quite lovely stuff on his channel too.
Excellent. Yeah, big up everyone in the chat. So I think you may be onto something, Tony. Like, is Odegaard maybe another impact player, right? Is Trossard going to be the number 10 going forward? I mean, but the thing is, I think once Odegaard comes back, reaches match fitness, you know what Arteta will do. He'll instantly replace that player, right? With his favorite. And Odegaard's the captain, so there's a lot that goes into that. But I just think right now, if we continue to win games, hold possession, play well, have clean sheets, and Martinelli scoring goals, like you said, and Saka scoring goals, you see more of goal distribution without Odegaard, right? If you see more goals being scored without your central checking mid, I mean, the math's math.
I mean,
I'm not a math guy. I'm not
enjoying his time. He's
guy
scoring
or
goals
like that.
Martinelli just started scoring goals. Kai-Havertz, I mean, should I even be talking about that one? He's scoring goals, and these guys are having this fun. Yeah, they're having joys scoring these goals. Yeah, without Martin Odegaard. So that leads to that question: is Martin Odegaard just a passenger in this team, or does he really add that flavor to this team? Which is which? I don't know, and that's the problem. In a big team like Arsenal, you don't need multiple players who could actually play in that same position. So you can actually, just compare and contrast them. But when Martin Odegaard just sits in that position, you don't truly get the true picture. In fact, many people thought that we won't even score goals at all, when he got injured. But right now, we're scoring goals without him. So that's a bigger question. When he comes back, it'll be interesting to see what Mikel Arteta wants to do.
It's obviously for us as fans, it's going to be a good problem to have because I do rate Odegaard, but I do have this feeling, and I want to say 30% of the time, I'm not going to say 50-50 because I don't think that's fair, but about 35% of the time, he goes missing. in big games. You and I have talked about this extensively, and we've come to the same conclusion that he goes missing. And so when he's
Yeah,
missing, right? Like he's missing now, obviously, because of his ankle. I see some
yeah.
better football. I see some goals being distributed around, which we need to
Mhm.
do because we don't have that 25, 30 goal striker in Kai Havertz. I know some of the Arsenal faithful think it's going to happen. I just don't. I think there's going to be patches for him. Like he may go a week or two without scoring. It may be so good. Martinelli,
Oh my days!
he
This is
may
where I'm
go
gonna
for
have
two
a
or three
problem with my
games,
brother Oregon Gunner. Oregon
but
Gunner,
he may.
see,
I'm put.
what is this?
He may
Kai
though.
Havertz is your highest goal scorer this season. How can you say this guy
But
can't
one
score
goal
20
over
goals?
what soccer? So well,
How?
I don't. We
He's
don't
averaging
know,
a goal every game.
Tony. Again, because we go back to being fans of 20+ years of this club, and we've seen players, boop, take a dive. They hit a purple patch and they go crash. It could, Tony. Listen to me. It could happen, right? Doubtful, right? We'll see what this injury is about. It's doubtful, my friend. Okay. See ya. I don't have all
Nah,
the
it's
answers,
not an
Tony.
injury.
I
It's
don't
just the
have all
dark
the
arts.
answers.
Come on, man. Oregon Gunner.
No,
Do you believe that? Do you believe Kai Havertz is injured? Come on,
I think he
man.
has a knock.
Those are
I think he has
gimmicks. That's
I
the
think he
dark
has a slight
arts.
knock. Maybe
Those
it's
are
to
the
keep
dark
him out of
arts of
Germany. To
Arsenal.
keep him out of Germany, of course.
That's what
Right.
I'm saying. It's the dark
Yeah.
arts. Arsenal should start
It's
wielding
the
these
same
dark
thing, I
arts,
think,
right?
as Bianco
The
Saka.
Premier League is
Right.
saying that, the Premier League is saying that, we're the masters of dark arts. Well, let's wield it. How about that?
Yeah. I don't
11
when
Arsenal players won't be involved in the internationals.
mm,
Let's start wielding it. Man City the last time, yeah, they saved and protected their players from the
oh,
internationals. Foden was out. Roger was out at the time. Most of their players were all hiding. And Arsenal just distribute all your players to the
right,
internationals.
right.
And of course, Odegaard got injured out there.
Well,
The fitness levels of these players are shaky. Timber, that's another thing again entirely. So, I mean, let's start protecting our players from this international because they
I
go out
yeah,
there, they give their best, they get injured, they come back, and Arsenal is to pay the tabs for their injuries. It's totally not working. It's not
I
working
get
for
it.
Arsenal.
I
So
get it.
let's
I
protect
get it.
our
And
players. What do you think?
I hope that's the case. I really do. I hope that's the case. I do because there's no reason for Kai Havertz to play any international game for any reason right now at all. At all. No,
And I
and
don't
again,
even think he's injured. He's not injured. He's not injured. It's just dark
I
arts.
hope not.
He's not
Okay.
injured. He's just alive.
Okay.
He's not
Okay.
injured.
I believe you.
It's one
I
of
believe
it's
you.
one of but Oregon Gunny, yeah, this is the thing that many of us don't really look into, yeah. Oregon Gunny. He never gets injured. I mean, I know he's an easy target, yeah. I'm not meant to be
That's
the
the same
shield
thing,
that
man.
protects him. But I mean,
Titanium.
he's one of our players, yeah, that never gets injured. Look at the fitness levels of Gabriel Jesus, and no one gets to this guy. No one even talks about him. The way they
Gabriel
talk about Kai
Jesus.
Havertz or the way they criticize him. I mean, Gabriel Jesus, from one injury to the other, he's not scoring goals. He's one of the highest earners in this,
He's just a whiner.
in this football team. I mean,
He's like
he's always on
he's a
his ass. He's always
Taylor.
falling down. He offers nothing. If you put him to the wings, he's not no output, nothing. Even Raheem Sterling is even pushing towards. He's trying to run the show a bit, even if he's not scoring goals. Gabriel Jesus is always injured, offers nothing, and no one criticizes him the way they criticize Kai Havertz. And for me, it's all unfair.
I don't know about that.
He's
I don't know about
scoring
that,
goals.
Tony. I don't know about that.
Totally
I've
unfair.
been considering. I've been
But I'll allow you,
bashing
your rant
Jesus
out there
for
too,
months
because
now
I'm
because he
not
looks
having
like
it
a
with this Kai
cartoon
Havertz
character out
ages.
there.
I'm not having it, man.
I'm bashing Jesus, bro. I'm done with Jesus. I want him sold in January. Bring me Saudi money, baby. Bring me Saudi money for Jesus so we can go get a proper striker. But then again, if we get
Would you
that
say
proper
Kai
striker,
Havertz
where?
should go on by January? Would Oregon
No,
Gunner,
no.
would you say Kai Havertz should
Jesus.
leave by January right now?
No,
No, I'm just
Jesus.
saying. I'm just saying. Can you say? No, listen to the question.
I'm
Would
listening.
you say Kai Havertz should leave? Would you say that Kai Havertz should
Leave?
leave by January? Can you say that
No,
now? Can you say that now?
No, he's our
No.
striker.
There's a clear good. There's a clear difference. Why? Because
I
he's scoring goals. That's why you can't
I
let him out.
understand,
That's
but
why you're
here's the thing:
advocating for Jesus to be out. He does
I want
nothing for the
Jesus
team.
out. But who do you think they're going to bring in? If they bring in Gyökeres, where is that? Here's the problem I have, Tony. If they sell Jesus, which I don't have a problem with, let's say, for instance, Saudi Arabia comes in with, a Saudi team comes in with 35 mil. We're going to take it. And Jesus is going to take that 400 bags a week, guaranteed, to go play a couple years in Saudi and live the rest of his life in Rio de Janeiro. But the thing is, Tony, if we get a striker in, right, which I think at this point we won't do, because I think they've already identified Kai Havertz as our striker, right? So if they bring someone in, it won't bring someone in over Kai. It'll bring someone to replace Eddie that will come on in the 75th, 80th minute when Kai Havertz is tired, right? Or they could bring in someone like Gyökeres and put Kai Havertz as center mid. And then we have a problem.
And then we have a problem because I don't want to see him in center mid.
Right, you
I don't want to see him in left center mid.
But if we bring in Gyökeres, or even like Ab says, Zesco, if we bring in a striker for 70, 80 mil, 100, I know it ain't going to be 100 mil, 70, 75 mil, where do you think Kai Havertz fits? If we bring in Gyökeres, for instance, for 80 mil, all of a sudden Sporting says, you know what, we're going to give you guys a deal today because it's the Christmas season. Happy New Year, Arsenal. We're going to knock 20 mil off the price and give you Gyökeres for 80 mil because we got this hot kid that we want to pay money on, or whatever. Sporting Lisbon wants the money. And January, Gyökeres, 80 mil, do you take him, Tony? And where does that put Kai Havertz if we buy him?
That's the problem. But again, I want to win the league. I'll take an elite striker. But again, he's doing the job now. What's the assurances that this board will go and get in a striker? There's no assurance.
There's no assurances. There's none. Right.
There's no assurances that this board will do that.
If we buy another keeper center back, I'm going to absolutely lose my shit. But if we buy a top midfielder, I don't think we're going to get Zubimendi, because I think Moreno is the Zubimendi that we were looking at, in all honesty, right? So if we go get another...
might be going to Mancity. Zubimendi is going to Mancity. That's what I've heard. By January, because of Rodri. That's what I heard.
We're not getting Zubimendi because we bought Moreno, right? We got Moreno. We didn't get Zubimendi. Right. He may be going to City. That's true. However, so in January then, and I know this is a little bit off topic, what do you really want? I mean, what moves should we really be making? If Kai Havertz is our striker,
I mean, Waffle TV down here is saying that Arsenal still want Sesko. I'm not a big fan of Sesko. If you compare him and Kai Havertz this season, I mean, Kai Havertz completely.
Now, hold on. No, right.
I mean,
now, hold on.
Blitz what he's doing. I mean,
I get what you're saying. Now, wait a second. Now, but that's the thing. If we get Sesko, we have to approach him and say, you're going to be, we want you at the club, but you are not going to be the first place striker. So he would be placing Eddie Nketiah with Havertz still as the number 9, so to speak. Right? I mean, you can't bring. I just don't see them bringing Sesko in. If they bring Sesko in,
I don't fancy Sesko.
With Abs theory, even ask Abs in the chat, like, okay, you bring Sesko in, Abs, then what? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Where's he gonna? Is he gonna start games? I mean, Kai Havertz right now is blatantly our striker. Like, Jesus is wandering out there. I think he's still trying to get Jesus foot right. You would agree that he wears the 29, but in the real world, just take the 2 off his jersey. He's our number 9. Jesus is on the borderline of having just a broken body. I know he's a midfielder assembled, but he doesn't play as a midfielder. We've been using him as a striker, and we don't want him as a midfielder.
We'll be using him as
He's
a
not
striker.
training as a midfielder. He's not in training as a
play midfield. Never.
I get he's a midfielder, but he's a striker in the way Arteta sets him up. I just, here's the thing. If we get another striker in, it's going to Havertz at midfield, I believe. Unless he plays a 4-4-2, with, let's say it's Sesko. Let's say, for instance, we just go and buy Sesko for 45, 50 mil, and he plays a 4-4-2 with Sesko and Havertz. Cool. I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is, I think you would as well, is if Kai Havertz is really, really good till December, we bring Sesko in January, all of a sudden Kai Havertz is a central mid or he's on the bench. And that can't happen. And again, it's not like I'm bigging up Kai. He is scoring goals. He's got the body. He's proven haters wrong. I'm in the mud over Kai Havertz. He's far better than Eddie and Nketiah. He's far better than
we're
Jesus.
all in the mud. We're all in the mud.
Yeah,
I'm in the mud too, because me and you, we
need to
criticize
bring in a striker, though, Tony, that's at a good level, right? So the next striker, if it's Sesko, for instance, we need a striker that's kind of competitive at that level, right? Because if Havertz gets injured after January, if he doesn't have a purple patch, he goes on a run of 3 games without scoring. You need to keep still that level there, and I doubt Cisco's the one, but it's still better than fucking Nketiah, right? It's still better than Jesus. I would think right now Sesko is better than Jesus, and it's not that I rate Sesko, but he is.
But again, I still think Sesko and Kai Havertz are almost the same kind of.
But doesn't that keep the levels then? But doesn't that keep the levels? If Kai Havertz comes off in the 75th minute, you want Eddie or Jesus to come on. I mean, I know Eddie's gone, but I mean that's who we dealt with for so long.
I mean, it would be nice to have someone in the ilk of Gyökeres, someone who can bring something different to that striking position, because Kai Havertz and Sesko, I see similarities in 2 of them. They're both tall, aerial ability. They can, out-muscle players in the final third. They can latch onto that final ball to get the goal. They're always locking in around the back post. They're the same. They're in the same ilk. I want something more different. Maybe a striker who is a more traditional striker, rather than technical, which is what Kai Havertz gives to us. Is a more technical kind of guy. He can unlock certain defenses. He can hold on to the ball. His hold-up play is top-notch. But Gyökeres is this kind of guy that has a little bit of trickery in him. He knows how to move in and out. He knows the final third. He can score goals for you. He can take abrupt shots from anywhere around the 18-yard box to even outside the 18-yard box. He can latch onto those loose balls. He's that guy. He has a little bit of trickery in him. He's skillful. But I can't say the same thing for Kai Havertz, but he's doing the job right now. So to have different pair of strikers will bring something different and something new to this team. How about that?
Yeah.
And he's bringing someone different from Sesko.
Right. Sesko Gyökeres, if he's the one, which I prefer him over Sesko, is he better than Havertz? Probably not yet. Havertz has a lot more Premier League experience, and he's already in the system. Like Welfa said, he's in our system, whether we like it or not.
I mean, he scored lots of goals last season. He's continued this season.
Right,
he's continued this season. He's been
scored 15 goals since 2024.
I mean, consistently, man.
Right. So right. That's right. Again, so many of us are in the mud over Kai Havertz.
Big numbers, right?
Right. Many of us, like I said before, many of us are in the mud over Kai Havertz, right? That's just a simple thing. We thought the 65 mil was crazy. We were like, what happened? And then then it started out being crap, and then it got better in January of 2024, where we went on that massive run of 31 scored and 4 conceded. And we've continued to score goals. We haven't lost an away game in 2024 at all. 11 wins and 11 away games, or maybe there's a draw or 2 in there. But we have not lost away in 2024, which is pretty incredible, seeing that we're in October. And Kai Havertz is a major piece of that. I think Kai Havertz now is, again, he scored a striker's goal. And I know it's against Southampton, but that was the goal I've been wanting to see from him. Again, not a little tap in, not something that bounces off his face and goes in, or hits off his bum and goes in, or his kneecap, right? We've seen him score some odd goals, but I think, like you said, he just latched onto that pass, took it outside and blasted it. And if we can get more of
the
that,
wall,
then we will have, exactly. We will have, more confidence in him that maybe this isn't a purple patch. Maybe he will get that 20-25 goals. But to me, the jury's still a bit out a bit because I want to see him score goals like he scored against Southampton, against City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United, Tottenham, etc. I want to see open play striker goals. The headers are fantastic. I'll take those too. This on the set pieces and so forth. Some great crosses by Saka this season, but I want to see this guy really, really put it on him. I really do. And if he's not able to do it, get me someone who can. Because I'm not going to fucking settle, Tony. I'm not going to settle for Nketiah. I'm not going to settle for, I don't know, Calvert-Lewin, right? No. I'm done settling. You're done settling.
I hear you.
That's why the Havertz thing needs to work.
But again, even for the reason, I mean, Oregon, the very thought of even saying that Kai Havertz should score 25 goals this season he has scored these goals without the creator in chief. How about the creativity? Who is going to pass to him? We're not even thinking about these things. We just want him to just magically score 25 goals with no creator in chief. Come on, man. What are we saying? We don't have anyone to actually give him the goals. All these goals is just trying to score them by himself. It's just it's a smash and grab. Catch the ball during transition, send the ball down to Kai Havertz, he scores the goal. There's no one who is actually in the middle of the park actually creating. So
I don't know
when we say, we want him to score 25 goals, where is the creativity? Who's creating the goals? Who's creating it? So isn't it even quite unfair for us to say we want him to score 30 goals? Where is the creativity in the team to enable those goals? So it would be quite unfair if we say, we want him to score 35 goals, 25 goals. Who's going to pass the ball to him all the time?
Well, let's
it's good and okay when they get the ball in transition, when Thomas Partey breaks transitions, when Bukayo Saka latches onto one or two loose balls and sends the ball across to him. What happens when there's no one to create those kind of chances? It would be quite unfair to demand such numbers from Kai Havertz when you don't have any creator around.
Tony, we have several creators. In a 4-2-3-1, what do you think Trossard's trying to do? Well, we have two creators, right? But I should say, many is not the right word. We have two, right? I think two, you could say, obviously, Odegaard and Trossard play those roles. And like you said before, we're scoring goals without Odegaard. You just said that like 5-10 minutes ago. We're scoring goals without Odegaard, without our captain, our primary captain. So is Trossard not doing what do you if we play a 4-2-3-1, how much creativity are you expecting to see out of, let's say, Odegaard or Trossard in that number 10 role in the hole?
But we both know that Trossard hasn't really settled into this Arsenal team. We know that for sure. The moment Martin Odegaard comes back from injury, he's getting out of this team. So let's don't act as if, even if he's having some joys, in that number 10 position, let's don't act as if he's a mainstay. He's not a mainstay. He's not this guy.
But he's producing. Like right now, he's producing. And there's some of it. So I think.
I hear you, but if Kai Havertz comes in, he's going back to the bench. It's a fact. We've seen it happen. It's not like it's something that there's a probability. No, it has happened. We've literally seen this manager keep Trossard on the bench, for other options, even if he's scoring goals. So he's not a mainstay in that midfield.
I can say this about Trossard. You can only play when you get your chance. And the fact of the matter that Odegaard is injured, unfortunately, is a blessing for Trossard because he's getting more minutes. but those minutes have been productive, Tony. We've been winning games, like you had mentioned earlier. So how much are we really missing Odegaard? I mean, yeah, he can cut open defenses and he can do tricky tiki-taka stuff, but he also gets knocked off the ball. He goes missing in big games. I mean, we've had big games, and Trossard hasn't. I mean, there was a game where he did go missing, but in the second half he was much better, and I think scored. I can't remember what game that was. Was that? Oh shit! Was that a Champions League? Anyway, there's been moments where Trossard has, to me, carried the torch for Odegaard and has been somewhat better in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know,
I hear you.
right?
I hear
But
you.
the thing is, when
I hear
Odegaard's
you.
match
My
fit,
only fear is that if
he's going to get
Odegaard
Trossard
comes
out of
back,
there. He's going to put Odegaard right back
going
in.
back to the bench.
Yeah,
I hear you, but
no,
again,
you're right.
if Odegaard
You're
comes
right.
back, he goes straight right into the bench. We know this. We've seen this.
Right.
We've seen the proofs it has
Possibly.
happened. I mean,
we'll see. And that's what we'll wait and see when he comes back from injury.
See, bro,
I mean, we can only wait and see, bro.
We've seen this.
Yeah. Oh,
we've seen this, right?
This could be the end of
Odegaard's to the bench.
career.
Again, he hasn't really settled into the Arsenal team. Man.
I think
he hasn't really settled.
There's that's where I disagree. That's right. I faithfully disagree. I think he is settling in more now than he was last season. I think if you really look, especially the goal he scored and didn't have the celebration, that was I forget the games. They come so thick and fast now, right? The goal he scored in the first part of the season didn't have a celebration, and he's played pretty much since then, right? Obviously with Odegaard injured, and
in the absence of Odegaard. Absence of Odegaard.
I know, but that's again, you can only play when you're called for him.
Because immediately Odegaard comes back, he's going back to the bench.
Probably
I mean, bro, it's not waffles. You've seen it.
Right.
Last season, there was a particular point in the season he was scoring goals, and the manager put him on the bench. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. So let's don't act as if always a mainstay in the team. No, he's going to go back to the bench.
Right, and Arteta's done this with Zinchenko as well, right? But he's going to go back to the bench, and number one because he's our captain, right? That's just the way it is. No, he won't be rushed back.
Now you see what I'm saying.
He's fit. He's just going to come back, and Trossard is going to be back on the bench. And I agree with Tony on that. But I also the point, I guess, where I slightly disagree is that if we continue to perform like we do, I don't know what Arteta's going to think. Maybe he won't bring him back. Maybe, and this is when he's completely match fit. Maybe he won't rush him back. I don't know. I just, but I can't say I disagree with you, Tony. I just don't know. That's a tough one because if Odegaard comes back,
I hear you, man. I hear you. You have seen it before.
No. But the opposite side is that
Odegaard. I hear you, man. But me and you have seen it before, so
And we win the league. If we win the league with Trossard at central attacking mid, and Odegaard has to come off the bench starting in January, or whenever he's completely match fit, that's what Odegaard's going to have to do.
Your captain come off the bench.
If that's what it's going to take for us to win the league, right? Do you care if Odegaard comes off the bench or not in February or March, April if you win the league?
No, I get you, but is that the thoughts of your manager? These are things you need to.
I have no idea what Arteta's thinking.
And we also have to understand, and again, we also have to understand that this manager has favorites in this team. It's good to have favorites. I like it. But sometimes it could act in the detriment of the team you're trying to move forward. Look at Gabriel Martinelli. He was having stinkers all through the start of the season. Even from it dated back to the end of last season. But he carried that form into the season, But the manager still stood by the guy. He stood by him.
Yeah.
And again, okay, it has worked out right now. He's starting to find himself into the whole thing. But the manager stood by him
He
through
did.
thick and thin. So
What if he does the same to Trossard when
what gives
Odegaard
you
comes
that,
back?
what gives you that, those kind of thoughts that the manager isn't gonna stand by his favorite yet again, Martin Odegaard, when when he comes back. He stands by his favorite through thick and thin. Martinelli
Right?
is a clear example.
No, and I again, he probably will go with Odegaard when he's
So
100% match ready.
that's my problem when we say Trossard is now creating, is not doing this. He might not be there for long. A favorite might come in, and you know
Right,
that
right.
little
What he's
momentum we've
doing in the
gotten in that
duration of
in that number 10 position might just disappear.
right. The thing is, what he's doing in the duration of how long Arteta will let him do it, Tony, is just that's by fate, right? I mean, I just I just feel like if we go on a
Mm,
serious run, if we go on a serious run, Arteta's and Odegaard's ready to come back, match fit, everything. Arteta's going to have to
mhm,
really take a look in the mirror, right? But again, he's our captain. You know, it's like in essence, the
mm,
squad is waiting for him to come back, right? Right? The squad itself
to
is
come
waiting for
back, right?
Odegaard to come back, right?
Well, let's
So
see.
let's see, and
Let's see.
but let's
Let's see.
by what you're saying, yeah, let's see, and then let's see what the goal distribution's like when Odegaard does come back. We'll see if Martinelli falls out of form.
Mm,
We'll see if
because it
Saka
does come
falls
back.
out of form, right? I mean, how else do you gauge it, right, bro? I mean, you got to measure
Mhm.
and gauge
Yeah.
what goes on. So if Odegaard comes back, all of a sudden Martinelli starts putting up stinkers again. I mean, then you will have justice in what you're
Then
saying
then you
because you will say
exactly
like
you start
Odegaard is
exactly you
not
start asking
passing the
questions.
ball. Right, right, exactly. And that
Mm,
Trossard was
mm,
the ball out more and giving more opportunities. I think you can make a claim for that if and when that
mm.
happens. Right.
I mean, good and okay, man. See, yeah,
And
Man
who knows
City,
what
Man
Arteta's
City
going
were
to
in
do, right?
court
He could play Moreno as
in the
striker.
Arsenal today or so, and Merino. Oh my days, please. Let's not go to that Merino. We'll talk about Merino briefly, but I just want to get your thoughts on this Man City team. Yeah, see, yeah, guys.
Mm,
Yeah, Man City might be in big trouble. Coming up with this 115 charges. Yeah, because they've just angered. Yeah, they've just
right.
thoroughly angered the Premier League. Yeah, and I think like
Yeah,
this will be a big recipe for disaster for them.
I
They
hope
kind
so.
of like it was a 50-50 thing. It was a 50-50 thing in court today, yeah.
Mm,
The kind of like there were some concessions that the tribunal made in the APT, but again, they also kind of like, it was kind of like a 50-50 split win for them in court. But journalists
mm,
now came out and started sprouting different news all over, all over Twitter and all over their journals that they smoked the Premier League in court, and that's not
mm,
really true. It's not really
yeah.
true, and I really do think that they're gonna anger the Premier League, and they will take those 115 charges very
Mm,
seriously because for some reason Man City, they kind of like it's like I said, it's a 50-50 thing in the tribunal today.
right.
So it's not like the Premier League blew it out the water or Man City blew it out the water. No, it was 50-50. If the Premier League is looking at Man City and saying, you know what, yeah, even if we don't want to drag our league into disrepute in the first place, thereby taking this 115 more likely and giving them a slap on the wrist. But they are 50% in court today. I'm really thinking that this will make the Premier League take those 115 charges more seriously.
Mm,
just to
Good.
use Man City,
As an
as
example.
an example,
Yeah.
not to not to mess up with them, because right now they went to court. It seems like City got some momentum in court today, and that's
Mm,
for different reasons aside from the 115
mm.
charges. And when
Gotcha.
those charges for the 115, uh, 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 you know, uh, charges that they gave to them takes full swing, the Premier League might want to them something more than a slap on the wrist if they're caught culpable.
Mm.
But again, what do you really think about this Man City thing? Yeah, this whole charges they're
Um,
winning, the 115 charges lingering. Do you think these
yeah.
things will kind of like affect them and affect their football? Do you think Pep Guardiola is thinking, I need to get out of this football club before they tarnish my image, or before relegation comes calling?
Probably.
What do you think, man?
Yeah, I think I don't know if he's announced that this is his last season of Man City, but I can't imagine that he would sign another contract after all this. Um, I think
Mm,
it's fair is fair. If they're if they broke the law, the rules, they need to get the punishment. I mean, you punished Everton for Christ's sake, right? You put
mm,
who else have been punished? Nottingham Forest. I mean, why would City get a pass? It boggles the mind, bro. And I haven't delved deep into it as you have. I don't, obviously it's not like a issue here in American sports. It's not in the front page news, but I know it is
yeah,
there. I feel like if any of these teams are cheating, they should all just be brought to justice. I mean, there's got to be something sneaky when you have so many top players. Okay? You have some of the world's best players. You're paying some of the highest salaries. There's something behind it. There's always something behind it, right? I mean, it's one thing if you're Real Madrid
mm,
and Barcelona, but that's football heritage. Let's be honest, Man City wouldn't be in the Prem if it wasn't for oil money. They'd still be down in Division Two, and that's a fact. They would they Any club in their
mm.
position would have taken
That's a fact.
any sort of ownership like that. That is a fact. If it wasn't for that 2008 oil money, they would be probably in Division Two. Plain and simple.
Mm.
And if they used any illegal gains to get what
Plain
they've
and
got,
simple, man.
yeah, they should be punished. It's that simple. But I don't. But I agree with what you're saying. It doesn't. It's not a good light to be mucking around with these people and kind of showboating, like what you were saying, and saying like we owned the court, or posting social media things. That can have a negative effect, for sure, because it's for the courts as
Mm.
well, and for City. It's all about perception, right? The perception isn't just for City. The perception also is in the hands of the court for upholding what they need to do. They don't want a bad perception as well, right? Or the EPL,
Yeah,
so to speak. So
yeah,
I think you're right. Maybe there is something into that. You can't poke the shark, man, and expect not to get bitten. You know,
mm,
I don't mean the shark is Man City. I guess the shark is EPL, but Man City in court. Yeah, fuck them. I have no, yeah, fuck them. If they're cheating, fuck them. I mean, sorry to demonetize your stream, but I mean, it's just that's BS, bro. They've won
nah,
four
come on.
titles in what, four titles in
Mm.
a row, and there's no suspicion,
Well,
right? I mean, it's
in a
just,
row, in a row,
yeah.
in a row.
To
I
be paying
mean,
the
in a row.
salaries,
I, I mean, it's hard to admit it. See,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's hard to admit it, yeah, but to my own standards and to the standards I've held other leagues to, the
right,
Premier League is at the verge, actually, it is at the verge of becoming a see, yeah, quote me anywhere. Seasons
yeah,
ago, we were calling the French League on a farmers league because Lyon won
mm,
the title nearly like about 9 years in a row or something like that. We called it a farmers league. Let's don't act as if,
right,
why can't we use the same kind of lot we dealt to the teams and bring it to the Premiership? Bayern Munich have won countless of leagues down
right,
there
right,
in Germany. We called it the Farmers League. Why? Because one team is gazumping all the trophies. And then, for us not to call the Premiership a Farmers League, I mean, it's dishonest. It's dishonest
Yeah,
because
yeah.
City is the team to beat. They are the bar. They are the bar. And the, man,
Well,
they came off a
yeah,
three-peat. They've won the
you
league
know,
4 consecutive seasons. I mean, 6 in
right,
7 seasons. I mean,
right.
it's turning into a
It's
Farmers
pretty
League.
crazy.
We have to be
No,
frank. Let's
it's
speak the truth.
I'd like to discuss some other time, not today, of course, because we're already about done. But when you say the bar,
Yeah.
right? Well, the bar, Tony, that's my point. The bar is raised so high when you're paying players 500 grand a week. How is any Premier
Mm.
League team, even with Arsenal's resources, we're trying to catch them, but we don't spend near on wages what
We're
they do,
trying and we
right?
can't.
We're
It's not
trying,
possible.
but I
Mm.
think it's a horror. I think, don't take this wrong. It's a horrible thing to say that Mancity sets the bar, right? In football, that's really not a good thing to say, right? I know you're saying it with heart and mind, but it
Yeah,
pains
it's
you. I
not
can
really a
tell to
good thing
say
to
that,
say.
right? It pains you to say that because that's really not. We
Yeah,
really
of
don't
course
want
it
that to be
hurts.
the
It hurts. It
reality,
hurts.
right? Right. It hurts. We don't want that to be the
True.
reality,
True.
and it's a hard thing. But I just think the justice will prevail. I hope. But I also feel like Man City will buy its way out of this. They'll sneak its way out. They're kind of like the Donald Trump of European football. He's sneaking his way out of responsibility and accountability. And I'm not
I
trying to be
mean,
politics, but that's I get that Man City to me are kind of like greasy car salesmen, right? The used car guy with the slick back,
exactly,
right?
man.
Who will always do
That's the
something
word.
to get over on you, right? Who will always do anything to take that last dollar, or penny, or pound from your pocket. And use it
Exactly.
to do something that's still wrong. So not only are they like taking your money, but they're putting it into, let's say, a club, right? It's still wrong the way they're using the money if they're caught to be doing things wrong. If they're not doing anything wrong, fair enough. You have Saudi ownership that makes a percentage off every single drop of petrol sold in the UK. Did you know that? Man City's owners
Of course,
get a
man.
percentage of
That's
every
huge.
single drop of petrol that's sold in the
Every
UK.
drop.
Every drop.
I mean,
Drop.
how is that? How is that fair?
They're
How is
beyond
that fair?
rich. They're
Where is the
beyond.
justice
Yeah,
in this?
exactly.
Where
And
is the
hopefully
justice?
this court
These
will
guys
bring
have
the
the whole
justice.
goddamn money in the world, and
It's all
I
locked
mean,
up.
where is the fairness?
There's
I mean,
none.
man,
And
you can't
without the
literally
money, that's what I'm
compete with this.
saying.
Even if Mikel Arteta fluffed his lines 2 seasons in a row, yeah. But seriously, you can't compare. You can't compete with this machine.
I said, let's say that they
I
did their
mean, the way
homework.
their clubs is run, the kind of
Things.
money that's pumped into their coffers, it's astronomical, man. It's astronomical. You can't just cope with with that kind of cash injection into into their facility, into their institution as a whole.
Well,
It's a
like
more
someone said, they did their
favorable
homework.
thing.
They found loopholes and so forth, right? They found loopholes to do things and so forth that other clubs haven't been able to do. But of course, the paramount issue of it is they have multi-trillionaires owners, and they're not Saudi. Thank you. Right, the Qatari, maybe. I'm not sure.
Qatari,
and I'm not trying to mix up.
Qatari.
I'm not trying to mix up countries and cultures or any of that. We say that like
No,
Lee Gunnarsson
has
Saudi owners is what I mean. Thank you, Hendo. I didn't mean to specifically mean Saudi. I just say that as just a term of oil billionaires, I guess, in the Middle East, right? So, I mean,
yeah, definitely.
It gives this team one hand up that others don't, and that's something I don't like in football. Like in the NFL in America, we have what they call a salary cap. You can only pay a player so much money. A team can only spend so much money, right? Because it's about the competitiveness of the league. And what we've seen in the last 4 years, we've come second, 2 points, catching them, and so forth. But that's sort of, that's that's great. That's progress for Arsenal. But in City's mind, that's not acceptable, right? So they're going to even spend
I
more
know,
money, right? It's not acceptable to them, and that's where the
bro,
standard comes in.
bro.
But
These guys have these guys have
realistically, it'd be
companies,
shit
yeah.
if it wasn't
These
for
guys
oil
have
money.
companies. These guys have companies all linked to their football clubs,
Right?
to their football club, yeah. In
It's
terms of
weird,
ownership, that is actually bringing in sponsorship money from
right?
those uh, bogus companies, yeah, that's kind of funneling lots of sponsorship money into their football club. I, I mean, this is, bro. They've kind of like
Problem.
swinged everything.
Elsewhere.
It's totally different. The one I heard
Right.
is that the one I heard in those court papers was that even shareholders' money, yeah, is being
Hmm.
used to actually inject, as cash injection in terms of they use it as a form of loan to Manchester City.
Is that illegal?
I
Right? Is that
mean,
illegal?
bro,
I'm not sure,
it's
and
kind
that's
of
what
like a
it's.
financial,
That's what
bro,
Hendo's saying.
financial hocus pocus going on, bro. I believe these guys allegedly. I believe these guys are cheats. They're cheats,
Right.
man.
Well, Hendo's got
They're
a good
cheats,
point. I
bro.
mean,
Because
he's
the way they're
exploiting
funneling
loopholes.
money into that football club, man, it's ridiculous.
But but Hendo's got a good point. Is it? But it's not illegal to do what they're doing. Apparently, because they've been doing it for so long. If it was so illegal, right? I think they
John
would have
Sinclair,
clamped
big
down on
ups.
this.
John
Bring up
Sinclair,
Johnson
Newcastle
Clan.
fan, big ups, man. How you doing, brother?
So they're finding legal
Mm.
loopholes, is what it
Hendon
sounds
Jr.,
like to
Drew
me,
Gunners, big ups.
right? And like I'd agree with the Assemble. They're doing their homework,
Bro,
but
every hole,
it's
every hole,
shady.
every
It's
hole.
very shady. You know, I
It's
and
very
I'm not
shady,
saying
man.
that just
They
because
got everything.
again,
They got all
I'm not saying this
they
all
got all the
because they have
shiny
trophies.
toys.
I want to,
They
Tony. I
got
want to make myself clear.
the
I'm not
Haaland,
saying this because they have trophies.
everything. The
If
best midfielder in
this
the world,
was
Rodri. They have everything.
right, right, but I said I want to make myself clear. I'm not saying this because they have trophies. I'm saying this stuff, and I want the justice done because it doesn't matter if it was Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Everton, Tottenham, Chelsea, etc. I would want the same justice. I would want the same titles stripped
Mm.
away if that's the punishment. If they punish City and hit them with a big fine, fair enough. We move
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Give it
But
to Arsenal.
but
I'm not gonna
this is a lot
dance about.
different than has been
See,
before, right?
Oregon, Oregon. I'm not gonna dance about if they give Arsenal the trophies. Yeah, but just do what is right. Rip off those trophies. Give it to Arsenal. I'm not gonna dance
Right,
about. I won't say it's Arsenal's trophies. What, but at least just show some form of fairness, some sort of justice. Yeah, because
right,
I mean, if they keep on carrying out this financial hocus pocus they're doing, man, it's gonna be detrimental to these clubs. These clubs can't compete. Already they can't compete. Not talk of
right.
the big wigs. Arsenal spent over $1 billion to increase our efficiency in this team.
That's what Endo's
Maybe
saying.
we've thrown away that money down the drain through the manager. I get that. But again, we've thrown in $1 billion into this
Crazy,
football club, and we can't even catch City.
crazy numbers.
We can't even get a Carabao Cup. I mean,
Right,
see, there are bigger quarters. There are people we should blame. I know the board, everyone. They've not spent the money
right,
well. I get that, but again, man, that it can't even help us to even get a trophy. I mean, out of the hands of Man City. I mean, it's not fair, man. But again, maybe it's how our club is run. But there's context to that. But I just really feel like we're not playing, you know, on level terms with Manchester City. Merino, what do you think about Merino and his performance in that game against Southampton?
oh, I
And
think
again, do
he
you
was
see
decent.
are you seeing any changes, any, anything
Um, no,
that
it's just sort of just doing his job. I think he's the type that's just gonna come in and do a job.
note about this Merino guy? Because when I was telling people about Merino, mostly flawless and TJ, they wanted to use me for memes and
Oh
laugh
no,
at me. I'm just
That's
joking
not
anyway.
cool.
But they wanted to use me for memes and caricature, And right now, Marino is playing well, and TJ is not saying anything. I'll have a chat
You
with
can
him tomorrow on
grill
Flawless
TJ
Show
tomorrow. There you go.
about that.
Yeah. No, I think Marino's doing fine.
Big
He's
ups,
exceeding
TJ. That's
what I
my brother,
expected.
man.
Yeah, big up TJ. Been texting me here a couple times. Um, no, I think Moreno's going to be a good fit. Just a solid midfielder that can move the ball forward better than El Neni can. We still have a lot to see from him. Yeah, so far, I think he's going to be decent. He's not world class, well, he's not going to light.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's
and
going to light anything up anytime soon. I need more time. He needs more starting time. I want to see him play in big games. Yeah, let's see him start against like maybe someone like Newcastle or start against Chelsea coming up. Because I think there's a lot more there to him than Jorginho provides right now. But yeah, Moreno, Rice, if we're in a 4-2-3-1, let's give it a shot. I'm all for the upgrades.
let's give it
Get
a
us to where
shot.
we
Let's
need to
give it
be.
a shot.
Yeah, yeah. I thought at the first it was a
Bournemouth
decent
coming up
signing.
in the weekend, man.
Yeah, Bournemouth coming up.
Bournemouth coming up in the weekend. What do you think? Are we gonna smash them up?
It's at home, right?
Beat
At
them up?
home, 4-0.
I mean, Oregon Gunner, man. Arsenal is we're having this habit, Oregon
Right.
Gunner. We're having this habit here of pummeling these little teams that come to defend against us. We're showing them who's boss. They've even helped us to even understand that we're comeback kings. The Oregon Gunner, Arsenal are comeback kings. I mean, look at the big comebacks we've had this season.
Right.
Yeah, to cap it all off, we beat our boogie team in Southampton. What a comeback! What a goal from court.Harvertz, the Bukayo.Shakhtar Martinelli. I mean, it's looking good across everywhere. I know we've licked some certain kind of goals this season, but again, we've also faced big opposition this
Right.
season,
Right.
mostly due to injury and mostly due to what we're missing in the middle of the park and also in the front of the park also. But still, Arsenal are still comeback kings.
Yeah,
Bukayo is
that's
still
great.
topping that board in terms of assist. We're looking good.
Not sustainable. It's not. We can't be putting ourselves on the back foot like that. Number one, my blood pressure can't take it. Number two, that's not how you win games. I mean, I thought we were really poor that first half. We were poor that first half against Southampton. And they had something to fight for. They need 3 points or a point. They need anything they can get. So I wouldn't take Bournemouth. Bournemouth are better. They got a couple more weapons.
I mean, without Dominic Solanke.
He's at Tottenham, though. Well, he's
Do
at
you think they
Tottenham.
have any
Tottenham,
bites?
remember? He's at Tottenham.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're without Dominic Solanke. So
I know.
let's
They
not
like
talk
the best
about
player.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, no, I
Let's not
think it'll be a
talk
casual
about
3 or
Bournemouth as if maybe they have Solanke to bail them
I
out.
know, Tony, but we weren't
Come
talking about
weekend.
Archer either at Southampton, right? And Archer scored a goal against us. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still going to go 4-0. I'm still pretty confident we
sure.
can put that score on them. But I'm not going to leave it out of the realm of possibility that we, have a lapse in defense and they put one in on us. I mean, you and I have been following Arsenal long enough, Tony, to know that there's never really a perfect game.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's just as much as we praise this defense and as how good as they are, they're still humans. They still have lapse in judgments. They still make mistakes. And we made a mistake against Southampton. They still played all men. They went up 1-0, 11 men behind the ball, and we were still able to score, which is fantastic. But there's been days, and you know this, Tony, when teams have done that and we haven't scored and we've lost 1-0, 2-1, etc. Right? And that's what I want to avoid at all costs. Right? You go down a goal, we have to score. And again, we got to win. We got to win every game because we have to think that Mancity will win every game. Right?
Yeah, every game.
They could go on a run at any time.
See, Mancity. But again, last week we'll soon round off the show anyway, but last week I was telling Flawless and TJ that it's with the way I'm seeing our team and with the way I'm seeing our defense, because we do have the best defense in Europe. That's what I think. It's up for debate, no
Yeah,
problem. I'm thinking, that we might go through the season unbeaten. I, see, guys, I know that's a big one, but brother, I mean,
you think we're
how
gonna go
many
through the
games have we
season
played now? We're unbeaten on skirt. We're unbeaten. We're on skirt. Come on, man.
bro?
Look at Aragon. He doesn't
Don't
believe.
start making
Look.
me blush. Get my heart pumping.
No,
I just
no, but
no.
wait, who's
I
gonna
think
beat us? Who's gonna beat us? Man City couldn't beat us. Aston Villa couldn't beat. I mean, damn,
Liverpool.
our biggest rivals, Tottenham Hotspurs couldn't beat us. Who
Liverpool
can beat
could.
us this season? Who?
Liverpool could. They could. They got the power. They got the manager. They got the
I mean,
shooters. Come
I
on.
mean, but Liverpool, come on, man, they're not firing on all cylinders, man. They
Oh my gosh.
escaped through a hair's breadth. In their last game, it was 1-0. Come on,
Yeah.
man. What are we doing here, man? They
I don't know.
escaped 1-0.
Cut the
They've been
stream,
beaten
Dave.
this
What are
season.
we talking about
I
here?
mean, let's don't act as if Liverpool haven't been beaten this season. Come on, man.
You're right. You're right. But the teams show up
Oregon,
against us.
come on,
But
man.
they show up
What are we
against
saying
us,
here?
bro. They show up against us. That's the problem I have.
I,
Right? But we'll see.
I,
I
I,
mean,
I
we'll
hear you,
see.
man. I hear you, man. But
Well,
let's
that's why
see,
we do
man.
the
If
review
we go
shows,
unbeaten
Tony.
this season, and I know this piece. I know this pisses TJ off totally. When
Oh
he
yeah.
hears that
No,
unbeaten,
I love it when you wind them up.
I don't want to hear it.
Just
You know, I
keep
stay
turning the
just
screen,
to
bro.
just
Keep
to
winding his
pinch
ass up.
them a little bit down there.
Yeah. He deserves a good pinch
Of
on the
course, I know
cheek.
we won't go unbeaten, but I just wanna hurt them a little bit, and
Oh, dude, if
him
we
and
went
Flawless,
unbeaten,
because
that'd be incredible.
man,
That'd be
that'll
incredible.
be
But
that'll
I
be
don't
an
know,
incredible
man.
fit. But
That's a
again,
tough ask. But I mean, right, you start to
no,
think though, if we get 3
we're
points
not
in
see,
Liverpool,
we're
3
not
in
losing
City,
games. We're not
maybe draw
losing
Chelsea.
games. We started this season strongly. We're not losing games, and we're just 1 point behind the league leaders right now.
Mm,
And we're at par with Man City. It's not a bad position to be in right now, right? Mostly
true.
when you've played three of the top four last season. I mean, we beat Aston Villa at home. I mean, away from home at Villa Park. We drew against City in their home. So they have to
Right.
come next to the Emirates. Let's don't forget
They
about
do.
that. That
And
might
they've beaten us
actually
at the
be
Emirates
a
before.
decider later on. I
Bro,
mean,
they
we've
beat us at
played
the
Tottenham
Emirates 2
Hotspurs
seasons ago,
away from
3-1.
home. Bro, what are we talking about?
I know.
Who's gonna beat us? I mean, it might
I
be
don't
all these little teams, yeah, but we've shown that we can actually come back
I
and
think so
bounce
too,
back
Drew.
with a comeback team. We've
Tony,
shown
I
it.
truly
So I mean,
believe we
man,
can beat all those teams. I
it
do.
might look
I
good this
think
season.
if we have a full fit team and the best starting 11 that we can get, right? I truly believe we can beat every team. I do. I
Mm.
do. But I also am an Arsenal realist that there will be games that we possibly, well, maybe we drop points. I don't know. But I got to get going,
Mhm.
Tony. So let's cut the stream, homie. I got to get going back to work.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oregon, man. What do you have coming up this week, bro? Talk to
Um,
us, man. And let's
this
close the
week,
show.
this week is going to be American Idiot Show on Friday. I think 8:30 p.m. or so on Friday. The guest will be Jez and Aaron Arsenal X-Rated. So shout out Aaron Knowles, shout out Jez. Hope to see you both Friday. I think TJ's putting that in the works. And of course, I think we've got don't we have friendlies this weekend? Or is that next week? International break. Is that this weekend or next week?
No. There's an it's this week. It's this week internationals.
Oh,
But I think
okay.
in the weekend, the Premiership is back. So
Okay. I hope so.
yeah. So it's pretty much the same thing.
Cheers, Hendo. Yeah.
Mm.
So anyway, I'll be just
Anyway, guys,
rooting
yeah,
here on the
I
YouTube,
think
man. I'll just be hanging around.
yeah, sure, definitely. Me and Dal will be back for in the weekend. When we play after we play Bournemouth for the post game show, I'll be back with him. Me and Josh will be having a show this week. I'll let you guys know. Me and Band should be having a show this week. Don't see him. I'll be coming in this week, so
Nice.
these guys will come around, and I might be going to Waffle TV's channel, and I'll be streaming it down to my channel. But I'll definitely be having a show with Waffle TV this week. So me and Dal will come back in the weekend. Dal,
Yep.
thanks for stretching
Thank you.
your time and showing up down
Oh,
here.
sure.
You know, let's hope
No
that
worries.
let's hope that in the weekend Kai Havertz does it again. He will put us in the mud, but again, it
Oh,
leads us straight to we can look forward to we're marching
yeah.
on in that trophy
Yeah.
hunt. So
Yeah.
keep putting dust on our faces. It's okay. Just make sure we're getting the wins and we're moving closer to a title win. No problem, man. I'm okay. I'm shameless. I'll take
Right.
anything. Just win, 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 win. That's what we want
Win. Right.
from me and Oregon. Win, win,
We
win. From me and Oregon Gunner, we are out. Peace.
peace.